Hey guys, Sean Bougie, surplusfundsriches.net. Today I want to talk about growing your business and scaling up. And you guys have seen previous, I'm not going to get into VAs with you because you've seen my previous videos. You know I don't like VAs. I like having somebody in the office, accountable. I know they're doing the work. I can actually track everything. And I'm going to go into that here in this video. So first of all, one of the things, of course, is you're going to compartmentalize the business. In my case, it's a little different because I only work files that are turned in by researchers that want to partner with us. So as a result, that portion is all covered with the researcher. My guys don't know how to do that in the office. What they do is they do the skip tracing, the mailing, the contacting, putting the deals together, hiring the mobile notaries, hiring the attorneys. They do all the back end stuff, not the front end research. So it's a little easier. So here's a couple little heuristics that may help you in as you're growing it. First of all, when you're hiring people, you don't want to hear this. Pay them more than the going rate. And I'll tell you something else. Give them medical benefits. And I'm going to tell you why I do that. We're right now in the middle of expanding our crew. First of all, it gets their attention and gets them in the door. Once they're in the door and they see what we do and they like the environment, we have a fairly casual work environment. Once they like the environment and they like what they're doing, we're helping people, guys. Once they get into that role and they see it, they'll stay. Once they see that they have medical benefits, they'll stay forever. I know it's a lot more expensive. It's hard to swallow. It's taken on a lot. That's why you need to grow slowly. As your business grows, then you can add more people on. Now, the way I look at it, if someone is in charge of a department or an area, if they have the responsibility for that, they have the authority to make decisions. Now, look, I can veto, and they need to communicate with me, but they have the authority to, in the moment, make that decision. Do you need to change the cadence, how often we're calling up front versus back end? Do you need to change the skip tracing system that we're using? And if so, what are you going to do? Are you going to check it, double check that it's actually working as well as our existing systems? How are you going to do that? All my case managers have cell phones. It's easier for me to read the statements on those. It also gives them the option. I know you can do this on your computer, guys. Anyway, gives them the option of also texting if we've got a full voicemail and that type of thing. I also have, and this is because I've been doing this for years. I had a team with real estate, for instance, in 94. Anyway, I have a closed circuit television system. Now it's closed circuit. I cannot access it from outside of the office. Neither can anybody else. It's not attached to the internet. It is a closed circuit television system. Let me tell you what that did for me and why this is the greatest thing I've ever done. I don't hear drama anymore. I don't hear she said. I don't hear it. The video's running. Okay? Now, it's also aimed above their head so they know that I'm not staring at them while they're working, or I can't look back later and stare at them while they're working using the system that's there in the office. It is an efficient. I tell them, look, it is a way for me to gauge efficiency. If I see your numbers are dropping as far as number of calls and that type of thing, I'm going to take a look at the video and find out what's going on. I also block certain websites from our internet, from our Wi-Fi, because I don't feel the need to supply them for that while they're there. And guys, at this point, some of you guys are going, oh my God, you're so tough. No, I'm not. I pay extremely well, okay? And I give full, and when I say I give benefits, I pay all the way on those benefits. Anybody that's looked into that as a business owner is going to go, wow, okay, there is no contribution in required from the other person. None. It's a full coverage. It's not great, but it's very good. It's United Healthcare. Full coverage system. I have no issues at all, and they've never had issues. And once they come, that is my retention. They stay forever. I would rather pay somebody more money, $10,000, $12,000, depending on what their insurance, what their age is. Well, it could be six to 12, depending on their age. $1,000 more a year, and not have to replace them twice in that year, because trust me, your training costs are gonna take that. Now, I mentioned compartmentalization. In my instance, since the front end is completely separate, so they don't know how to get lists or how to research that. In my instance, I can actually cross-train the other people. Everybody knows how to skip trace. Everybody knows how to mail. Everybody knows how to call. Everybody knows how to, data entry. Now I limit the access as far as they cannot delete files. Only the supervisor can do that, right? And that's only done that we only purge files once a year anyway, and they're old, so we've got that handled. These are the type of things you got to think about, guys. Now hiring these people, I've had a lot of success with Indeed. I will tell you that if I do the video interview first and then do an interview in person, I tend to weed through quite a few people that way, and that helps me. However, regardless of how you do it, the no-show rate is off the chain. I'm going to say something right now to cover myself, okay? It has nothing to do with the age of the person. This is young, old, middle-aged, all age groups. They're not showing up for interviews, okay? And I don't have any blights on me, okay? No spots on anything. They will then they'll typically call you either the next day or an hour and a half later and go, hey, were we on for today? Or something like that. One of the things I do is I have a sit down when we first hire somebody, and I explain everything. We're going to be upfront with you, okay? We're going to be very upfront on where you are productivity, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. We've got paid time off. We've got paid vacation time. We've got paid holidays. We are going to take excellent care of you. You got to work, and you got to show up on time. On time means early, because if you're it's late if it's a second after when you're supposed to be there. You've got to set this, guys. You have to set hard boundaries. Okay. One of the things too, I'll give you a really quick story of something that happened. A young lady came in. She was supposed to be there at 10 a.m. to interview. She got there at 10:16. I typically turn them away. Just say, hey, thank you for coming. Did you have an issue with finding us? That's what I asked her. And she goes, no, I felt like I was on a safari. I decided to drive around, get a feel for the space. Da, da, da. I said, when did you think our interview was? She said 10, but I figured it'd be okay if I was a little late. I just wanted to feel more comfortable at what I was doing. So we sit down, because I'm like, whatever, I got to talk to this person. We sit down, and she asked, I said, do you have any questions for me after I went through everything? She goes, yeah. Why am I here? Great question. Why am I here? Why did the last person in this position, why are they no longer here? And I loved it. And Kathy was on the other side of this interviewee doing this while I was answering her. I said, she was consistently late. I said, we can't have that. And listen, guys, real quickly, if you hear nothing else, this is what you need to tell your team members. Listen, you can't be late, and you can't have unexcused absences. I need doctor's notes, whatever. I can't trust you. I'm sorry. It's just it is. And here's why. Every time you are a no-show or you are late, it impacts the rest of your team members. I am not going to allow that. I'm not going to allow somebody's inability to come to work on time or to show up or has constant problems. I am not going to allow that to adversely affect the other people that work for me. It's not fair. We're a team, and you got to be a team player. That means you show up. That means you do the work. Thanks, guys.